And who's going to make the better start? That is key.
Seconds out.
Here we go. Joyce, the taller man. Both of them with that quality left-hand lead. Will Dubois do as many people predict and just go in there looking for the big early punch, or will it be more of a chess match?
Well, Joyce has got the slight advantage in terms of reach, a couple of inches more. The general view of most people that Dubois' jab is very good indeed, it's accurate. But what will Joyce do here? Will he just keep coming forward, or will he tend to box at range and try and out-jab Dubois? Interesting stuff.
Dubois, the Olympic silver medalist. Sorry, Joyce, the Olympic silver medalist. Dubois.
I think what's important for Joyce here, John, early, he's got to land that jab against Daniel, because he's taking a few risks coming forward here, is Joyce. The whole reason why Daniel Dubois has a better chance to land in that right hand. So he's got to be careful, and if he works with his jab, Joyce, he's got to hit the target. He can't afford to miss and fall in.
There's a better jab from Dubois. Heard, I think, the voice of his sister Caroline shouting out from somewhere on the balcony, urging Daniel Dubois on. A little bit of reddening around the face of Dubois already from the accuracy of this left-hand lead of Joyce, who's making a good start.
Yeah, he's boxing well at range at the moment, is Joyce. So Dubois just can't get that 1-2 going just yet. And you see, that's a slight mistake, gets away with it there, does Joyce. And Dubois now sensing he's probably losing the round slightly, and so starts to come forward, trying to land that right hand.
Fascinating open round. And Joyce going well so far. Dubois maybe just waiting for Joyce to commit himself to.
Boxing at distance, he's not coming over the front foot too often, you see, John. And that's limiting Dubois' chances of landing the big right hand. That's a good round for Joyce.
Oh, fascinating opening round, which surely goes to Joyce. Joyce with the early advantage, and now Dubois comes forward, trying to land bigger shots and trying to impose himself maybe physically in this second round.
Yeah, his corner have said, haven't they, most certainly to get closer to Joyce and put him under a little bit of pressure. That's what they've told Daniel Dubois there. It's a faster start to the round for Dubois.
And Joyce's tactics were able to give him the edge. That's a good right hand from Dubois.
Yeah, maybe he's showing a few nerves as well in that opening round, Daniel Dubois. But he's certainly, whatever they've said to him in the corner, he's responded well here. He's upped the work rate a little bit, and he's getting to Joyce a little bit now. How will Joyce react to this now, John?
More purposeful look to Daniel Dubois in the first minute of this second round. A tactical battle thus far. Joyce just trying to take the rhythm out of Dubois with that left-hand lead.
Well, he started the round better, did Dubois, and that's a better right hand. Just as I said, he's taking his foot off the gas, then he lands a good shot. First real good shot on Joyce there.
Referee hadn't said break, and Joyce trying to tie him up, and Dubois was in his right to land big shots when they appeared to be clinching, and now these are the first dangerous moments for Joyce.
Yeah, good right hand from Daniel Dubois. Found his range with it. It's when he just takes his foot off the gas and allows then Joyce to come back with those jabs, those peppering jabs, that he may have a few problems, but a good round up to now for Daniel Dubois. He's reacted to his corner most definitely, brought his right hand into play, and they'll be a little bit more pleased.
Looking again for that big chopping right hand, this time just went through thin air. Joyce is not a quick man. He's being urged forward, Dubois, by his corner. They feel that he's really on top here, and Dubois lands with another solid right hand.
Now, and that's why he's just moving away and throwing that jab. That's why he's on the outside, just trying to take the sting out of the punch. There was an example there.
Managed to get his gloves up just in time, Joyce, and take the power out of that right hand last few seconds.
One apiece now for me. Here's the right hand there, chopping right hand. That was a mistake from Joyce, misses the target and then gets caught, and then Dubois then follows up, a couple of good shots to the body, and this was a positive response from Daniel Dubois. Look, so there's that left hand to the body from Joyce, doesn't hit the target, it's a little bit slow.
1 round apiece. Richie's got it at this point as we move into the third. Fireworks are going to come, you can be sure. There's a good right hand from Dubois. He's looking for him now, and another. And Joyce is having to cover up. He's caught by a left hand to the head as well, and the power shots are starting to come in here. If you keep peppering it with chopping blows, and that is what Dubois has been able to do.
Yeah, tremendous stuff, but now he needs a little bit of a rest, so he's exerted a lot of energy there, has Dubois, and he hasn't chopped the tree down, so it was a little bit of a gamble, but yes, he went for it there, a couple of big shots.
Good jab from Joyce that time. Fascinating fight, and whoever you fancy, you're still going to be thinking your man has got a great chance. Perceived wisdom was that the further this fight went, the more you'd fancy Joyce.
Yeah, I think Dubois has got to move his head just a little bit more. There's reddening on his face. Those are the jabs from Joyce.
That was coming in the first round.
Yeah, but it's the straight 1-2 from Dubois that's causing the big problems for Joyce, especially when he quickens his feet up, moves into range, then throws it with a lot of venom, that combination.
Joyce with the fantastic amateur pedigree. Daniel Dubois had virtually none as a senior amateur, although he has been learnt as a professional. Just blowing a bit heavily in there in this third round. He put a lot into that opening stanza.
Yeah, he really went for it, didn't he? And he's feeling the pace a little bit. And Joyce just...
Juggernaut for no reason. He's a big man who just keeps on coming. That's a better jab from Dubois. Needs more of those. That ramrod left lead he thought was going to be a big weapon to his advantage. He's not really made it tell, apart from at moments in that second round.
No, he's got a great jab, has Dubois, but it's Joyce that's producing the jabs. To be quite honest, it's the right-hand counters and the right hand in the attacks with the 1-2 from Dubois. That's his best punches.
Dubois had that flurry at the beginning of this third round, but Joyce has been stronger. But now a couple of decent headshots from Dubois, with the clock ticking down to end this third round. Well, good round. And a good round in the latter stages for Joyce.
Yeah, I think it was a case here, John, of Dubois going for it. Landed a couple of good shots, didn't he? Looked right uppercut there, another right hand. But we know how tough Joyce is, and he had to show his toughness here. He comes through this storm, and then towards the end of the round, that was a little bit low from Dubois. There's that left hook. It was a good attack from Dubois. It was early on in the round. He really went for it, but Joyce come through it. And then he peppered him with the jab. So that's why I gave it an even round. He came back.
Showed that renowned strength and power as we move now into the fourth. And on Richie's card, this fight absolutely level. 1 round each with 1 level. I think there's an argument that Joyce could have edged that last round, but who knows? 3 judges, they're the ones who will determine it, if it goes the distance, and that is a sizable if.
Because we know Daniel, he's been 10 rounds before against Kevin Johnson. You know, he has improved in his stamina, but most people think that if it goes over 5, then the tide will turn for Joyce.
Only just off target with that right uppercut, Dubois. The power is in that right hand of Daniel Dubois, Triple D. That time it was blocked by Joyce, but the left thudded into the solar plexus. Good from Joyce, doubling up on that left-hand lead, and a bit more head movement than they sometimes associate him with.
Yeah, just made a mistake there. Just launched from too far away with that right hand. Joyce just fell short. Accurate that Joyce's jab is, and how frequent it is. It's always in his face. He's out jabbing Dubois, who has a terrific jab himself. But on this occasion, the jabs are coming from Joyce.
Well, it's a big weapon for Dubois, and it's being taken away from him right now by Joyce. Good accuracy from range. Set in the historic church house in Westminster. And you can really hear the power of the punches as well as they thud home.
And another close round this is, John, it really is. Dubois seems to be doing well with the 1-2s when he's throwing them, but again, Joyce just picking up the points. See, that one missed there, but he's picking up the points, Joyce, with these jabs. There's another one.
Daniel Dubois' face is definitely starting to mark up a bit. And that's a testimony to the accuracy of the jab. Good right hand taken well by Joyce. And as he goes back to the corner, you can see the face of Daniel Dubois is really marking up that Joyce is able to produce.
Yeah, he knows he's in a real fight here, and he's being out-jabbed at the moment. And as I say that, then he starts to land a couple of good jabs of his own.
As Ian John Lewis says, and he's now happy, so we're underway again. That's better from Dubois. Good jab, followed by the overhand right.
Yeah, and his eye, it's not closing, but there's a little bit of swelling on that left eye of Dubois. John, he's starting to find that right hand again now.
Jimmy Tibbs acting as the cutsman in that corner, vastly experienced. That's in the Joyce corner. And of course, we've got Martin Bowers in Daniel Dubois' corner. And it's there that the greatest damage is having to be dealt with.
I think Dubois is starting to use his jab better now, Johnny Dubois, and that should set up that right hand.
Lovely fast left-hand lead from Dubois, and this now has the makings of a very good fight indeed. A long way still to go. Dubois having to dig deep after Joyce has had the advantage in the early exchanges of this fight.
No, you're right there, John, but there, good work again from Daniel Dubois. He's being more accurate now with his jab.
More anxious times in these first 4 rounds than in the whole of his career. The Joyce camp were saying that this fight had come too soon for Daniel Dubois. He should have had a Bryant Jennings or somebody of that sort before going to fight somebody of Joyce's stature. That's better from Dubois.
Yeah, he's having a better round here. On a lot of occasions, cracking right hand there from Dubois.
And testing Joyce's chin. This is a really good round it's turning into for Dubois after a very shaky fourth. And Dubois just wanting to tie him up. And Daniel Dubois, you can see that swelling of the left eye, but he's had a good round.
Good round indeed, big shots going in. But good round for Daniel Dubois.
Key moments in the fight, Richie. Who's going to establish dominance now? I love that line from Martin Bowers in that corner when he said, this is the fight game, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, Martin Bowers very experienced, so he's just reminding Daniel Dubois that this is it. It's
good little right-hand counter inside from Joyce there in that exchange. Joyce is using that long reach well. He's got a 2-inch reach advantage, and he's making it count.
When he lands that right hand, John, just dips his head, just slips to the left with his head and then whips that right hand over. That's a good shot again from Dubois.
Absolutely level on Richie's scorecard. And we're coming up to the halfway stage of the fight. An experience of Joyce which is going to prevail.
He's boxing well at range here, Joyce. I think Dubois again, he's slowed his feet down. He's got to quicken his feet up. He's got to close that gap.
And again, that left eye begins to swell more. I wonder how much of a factor that could turn out to be the further the fight goes. The left eye of Daniel Dubois. Good shot from Dubois, nice right hand. Referee trying to let the action flow, just telling them to stop holding, letting them fight away out of the clinch without calling break. Well, another interesting round, this one, and not a lot between them. Good from range for Joyce. Dubois with one or two quality power shots, but look at the damage to that left eye, Richie. Trying to rev him up, you hear him say, dig in, there's one of the quality right hands.
Yeah, a good shot there from Dubois as they came away from the clinch. Joyce just making the mistake of just dropping his hands a little as they broke, and Dubois catches him. There's Dubois leaning to the left, as I said before, that little slip, and then whips that right hand over the top.
A lot of these rounds have been close. Daniel Dubois with the DDD around his waist. Good right hand again from Dubois. And Joyce walked straight into that. It caught him pretty flush, and an uppercut. And now comes the big toe-to-toe exchange.
Yeah, tremendous work there from Dubois. But will he let Joe Joyce off the hook again? Joe Joyce is teak tough. He comes through it, and you see Daniel, but he doesn't get the job finished.
Well, he was told to go out there and produce a big round. It was needed, and when he lands those shots, the opponents he's had so far in his career have usually crumbled. Not Joe Joyce. Another good combination from Dubois, who's really producing something here. It's a tremendous effort from the champion.
Dubois tends to move to his left and slips to the left and then whips the right hand over. Joyce has got to move away from it, John. Got to keep going around to his right.
Tell you what, though, Richie, that's reaching the point here. Well, Daniel Dubois' vision is surely beginning to be affected by that swollen left eye.
Yeah, he's producing the better shots, the quality work. The eye-catching stuff is from Dubois. Little jabs here and there, poking in his face from Joyce. And as I say that, Dubois lands a cracking jab.
It's still open for both men, and that's a good combination from Joyce this time. Right hand finding the target towards that damaged left eye. Did Dubois see it, I wonder? This has been a huge effort from Daniel Dubois here in this round, but he's not got him out of there. He's landed big shots and landed them flush, and Joe Joyce is still in there, spearing him with that left-hand lead. Last few seconds of another dramatic round, and a round which I'm sure you're going to say that Daniel Dubois has won, Richie. Drama from that round.
The Joyce coming forward. Daniel there just timed the right hand lovely, didn't he? Just dips his head to the side, waits for Joyce to come forward, and there, that was an excellent here at home.
This is how we've got it here at ringside. That's how Rich is scoring it at the moment in Daniel Dubois' favour. Here in the 8th round. 12-rounder, of course, with British Commonwealth and the vacant European titles at stake. Somehow it feels like more than that's at stake.
Yeah, it's a proper British Commonwealth European title fight. I remember being brought up on them as a kid, watching the Wednesday night sports nights, Harry Carpenter days, these type of contests.
Ian John Lewis not happy at some of the work that Daniel Dubois was producing there. Dubois jabbing so much more effectively than he was early on.
Just to keep Joe Joyce off balance, if anything.
Younger man by 12 years, Daniel Dubois. Fireworks from either side could still be decisive. Is the fight going to, against all expectations, go the distance? 10th round from here on. Most people were thinking this could be Joe Joyce territory. Dubois told off about illegal tactics.
Yeah, just a low shot again, little left hook downstairs, but it was low. Ian John Lewis doing a good job there, telling Dubois to cut it out. And again, probably the more work, the volume's coming from. We prefer those quality shots.
Just wonder if Dubois maybe taken his foot off the gas a bit in this round, having put so much into the last. Joe Joyce just keeps plugging away. It's a good jab from Dubois, and the right hand to follow up. Good round, both men having their moments and both landing big shots right up to the bell.
I thought this was a better round for Joe Joyce, to be quite honest. I thought he outworked Daniel in this round. There's some eye-catching stuff from Dubois, but probably not enough of it. A little short 1-2 there from Joyce, who's boxing well at range. Volume's coming from Joe, the quality shots, the eye-catching stuff's coming from Dubois.
And Richie's got it by just 1 point in favour of Daniel Dubois. And I tell you what, that third round, which Richie scored level, who knows? It might be that it is absolutely dead level at this point. Joyce still up on his toes and still looking as though he's got plenty in the tank. Good jab.
Well, I said in the pre-fight programme that we did yesterday that if Joyce is going to win this contest, he's got to do things differently. He hasn't won an Olympic silver medal for nothing. He has got a good boxing brain, and he's used it tonight. He's boxing at distance. Yeah, and yes, I think Dubois is still very dangerous, but he's done what his opponent didn't think he was going to do. He stayed at range.
Silver medalist to many people's eyes who watched that Olympic final in Rio. He was very unlucky not to come away with the gold. Is it going to be his night? Dubois has given an awful lot, and you can see just looking at the two men who has taken the more damaging shots.
Pace has just slowed a little bit in this round. That's probably suiting Dubois, if anything. I think Joe Joyce himself has just took his foot off the gas slightly, and that's probably favoured Daniel Dubois. As I say that, nice 1-2 from Joyce.
Not doing a lot though, Dubois, is he? Waiting for Joyce to commit himself, looking for the opportunity to launch one of those big overhand right hands, maybe.
Again, though, Joyce moving to his right, he's moving away from the shot. There, as I speak, then he just takes the sting out of that because he's moving away. It's the right hand that he's really looking for. So with Joyce moving to the right, he's moving away from it, and it's just taking the sting out of it, John.
It's a better left-hand lead from Dubois that time. But here comes Joyce again, fighting for the full 3 minutes of the round, right the way up to the bell, and finishing strongly, and Dubois absorbing some punishing shots in the last few seconds of that round. I've got it just edging to Joe Joyce. It is that sort of fight. It is very close, but Joyce looks the stronger and looks the more sprightly as we enter the 10th.
I think Dubois has got to work a little bit harder, John. Yes, there are flashes of what he can do, and we all know that the power he's got, but he's probably not working hard enough, and he's just being outworked a little bit. Oh dear, it's the left eye, and he's gone down. He's gone down with the jab right on that damaged left eye, and down he goes, and it could be that it's all over right here. He's had enough, he doesn't want any more, and Joe Joyce, by stoppage, is the new British, Commonwealth and European champion. We asked whether that damaged left eye was going to be a decisive factor for Daniel Dubois.